Hello again everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Okami. So, we are now... in the... inside of the castle in the island. So, we have to go through some trials, pretty much. Like, I think the whole point of this island is to test your reflexes. So, if you're not good at this game, you might want to start practicing. So, before we can go up, we're going to actually descend into the basement of the castle. And we're going to find out that, I think these demons are kind of screwy in the head. Like, they have a sort of sense of humor. Indeed. So we're gonna meet Tobi, one of my, well, I don't know if they're actually a subscriber or regular viewer, but somebody commented on this character early on, mentioning how awesome he is. Well, he's got an interesting sense of humor, and, you know, he's, I guess he's like the guardian of the castle in a way, because you have to like go through a bunch of trials racing this guy to the opposite of either a room or a set of rooms or an obstacle course. And if you can't beat him, well, you're in trouble, because you're gonna have to race this guy quite a few times. The first one is just a pretty much straightforward race. But just to let everybody know in advance, if I don't make it the first time, I'm gonna cut out all the errors. I might keep the footage later as a joke, just to show, like, me, like, you know, getting seriously, like, ticked off about it, but this is what you do. No, it's kind of ironic that I just barely made it through that gate there, but hey. Now, as you can see, we've already done one, and the next one is already much more complicated. But not to despair. Yeah, so he doesn't move too fast in this room. So as long as you can, like, plot a fairly straightforward course, and if you don't know in advance, you can, like, explore the layout of a room without racing him. So that gives you a slight advantage over knowing what's going to be coming up ahead of time. And I actually think in some ways it helps quite a bit to know what you're going to be going up against ahead of time, because if you don't, if you just run around blindly, you're almost guaranteed to lose. But believe me, we're going to be seeing this guy quite a bit, actually. For now, though, it's all good. Yeah, it doesn't help that I was stuck underneath that platform. Those look like seesaws to me, but they don't actually move which is interesting. Oh look, it's our buddy Tobi again. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't think she ever gets winded, to be completely honest. Oh yes, why not? Better be speedy when you do this one, and position yourself in the correct way, or else that could be a pain in the butt. Also, I don't recommend running straight across the top of the platforms because there's actually a chain link wall that will block you off, so. Now this room is where things start to get a little bit rough. Which is to say, if you aren't good at running and jumping, you're gonna have a hell of a time. And you also have to jump in a certain way, so. Well, without further ado, as you can see, you really don't want to get hit. Not only will it slow you down, but it can cause a lot of problems later. Now you want to get to this stretch and just book it down the hallway. Not too bad. But at that last jump, you really want to like sort of cut the corner. It sort of makes it, you know, so it saves a couple of seconds of your time. Because he's like, I don't know, I don't really think he's a cheater, but he's not very fair. And now another race. This one's a real bitch, I have to admit. You know, like, it doesn't... Basically what it is like a set of wheels that go back and forth, and... Yeah, it's easy to get hit. Now you want to try to do it without getting hit if you can. If you can't, well, whatever. You know. It's really getting up these stairs at the end here that are the most important part. And yeah, there's still yet another race. Like I said, this is really a test of your reflexes, and if this part's not a test of your reflexes, though, this is actually a test of how fast you can fight. And of course he gets insulted. Well, that's a really good way to, like, make friends. He sort of gives you a hint as to what to expect. But yeah. And actually, but I didn't cut out losing or anything in that part. I actually walked into the room just to, like, you know, like I said in advance, like sometimes I just get to scope out a room just in case. And I could not remember what this was, but it's just a basic fight. You know, these guys are not really that difficult. I could really hate to see what they could do here. Like, if they had actually decided to be really nasty, they could have put some really bad things in this room. So yeah, that's actually pretty simple. In some ways, that's probably actually even more simple than the first room, because as long as you could fight really quick, you have no problem. So as you can see, we're steadily making our way up the castle. We're not racing Tobi now. That was the last race for a little bit. He'll be back later on. But this is well, they call it the Hell Raids or whatever the heck. But yeah, they're like laser beams, and they do quite a bit of damage to you, and if you're not careful, you can be knocked off or fall off. But the whole point of this maze is to try to make your way through and not get hit by the lasers. So we'll try to make our way through this as fast as possible. They did mention that you can hit statues to stop the briefly. Well, see, that's what you do, and then I fell off. Well, that's just fantastic. Not really. But yeah, you can hit them and they'll temporarily stop shooting out their lasers. Based on looking at the time, I'm actually going to have to cut this video short. So, next time on Let's Play Okami, we will continue through this maze and upwards and onwards through the castle. I'm Kawaii Ninja Cat. I hope that you've all enjoyed this Let's Play, and I will see you all next time. Sayonara.